Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be open port. Going to be a lot of things different. First thing you're going to notice that is different, obviously, an open port mold. Okay, now it's in focus. And clear plastic, quarter cup, already been degassed. This is going to be like an illusion. So we're going to do, I think this worm, it's the 10-inch ribbon tail open port worm mold from Angling AI. I think it's like a ½ inch thick. So there's only gonna be like a 1/4 inch or a little more of see-through. So on to, it's just a cheap pancake griddle. You want to heat up your molds. When they're open port, just lets the plastic flow more even and everything. But best way for me to do it, so this griddle is not on the edge of my table, obviously. So I just rest my left arm, since I'm right-handed, on the table, and then use my right arm in the pour. Makes it way more steady. And make sure the pour spout is clean. Alright. So just gonna take this, always go slow. I think I got a few bubbles in there. If I did, I'll just heat it up even more. Pretty much, like, make it 300 degrees again. That way all the bubbles come to the top and pop. Oh yeah. Easiest way to do the other side, to get more steady, just flip the mold around. Try to get the height even. Way it's consistent. I need a little bit more in this one. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering how to get this color, put all your pigments and glitters on the shelf. Don't need them for this color. Obviously, it's just completely clear. Now, I mean, if you wanted, you could put like a little bit of June bug or something in there. Just like 1 drop, darken it up. Alright, so since I got a few of those bubbles, I'm just gonna heat this mold, or griddle up to like 350. Wait, all those bubbles come out of it. And wow, that is heating up. For the next color, so like if you were doing a swim bait, the bloodline, it's basically what this is, just for a worm line. Alright, actually I need to reheat that, so I'll meet you back. Okay, for the vein, still keep your pigments on the shelf. Don't take them off. Don't even look at them, touch them, do anything to them. It's just glitter. Okay, sorry for all the steam. Heating it up, a bunch of steam everywhere. nothing's on fire, it's just steam. So let me find it real quick. Probably shouldn't set that on there since it's hot. Okay, so I'm gonna call that a glitter June bug. Purple, since June bug is kind of purple. Well, grape. It's called grape. Kelly green. And then this tiny turquoise blue. Okay, so starting with turquoise. There. Okay. Lost my measuring spoons for a second. Alright, so this is a quarter cup plastic. Still. Hasn't changed. Still the same see-through. And there's stuff in that plastic, of course. Okay, had to fix a few things there. The camera's sitting on plastic, and heat got to the plastic a little bit and started melting it. Those molds still need to even out a little bit more. Almost there, I can tell a little bit. Bubbles are almost gone. Okay, so back to the bowl. Well, I'm gonna turn that griddle off actually. It should even out by the time it cools down. Alright. 1 30-second, ouch, I touched the griddle with my knuckle. 1 30-second of a teaspoon of blue 0.008 glitter. Probably will need more, but whatever. Start somewhere. And make sure it doesn't all get stuck to the knife, because that's just great fun. Yeah, so normally I can prevent that, but I messed it up that time. Okay. There's enough blue in there. I'll just have to reheat it to get that rest stirred in. But enough of that trick. Oh no. There's pink plastic stuck to my glitter cup. And I picked it up. I show it on camera. And it flung into it. Luckily it stayed on top. Okay. So we'll just do Kelly green next. If there's molds evened out, looks like all the bubbles popped. If there's some left, I'll just get like a needle out and poke them. We're gonna do 1/64 of a teaspoon of Kelly green, and then also of grape. I put the wrong thing away. I put the measuring spoons away instead of the glitter. Alright, so let me see if I can get that little bit of, okay. We're getting a bunch of glitter stuck to the knife today. Alright, that looks good. Alright, now on to the grape. 1/64 of a teaspoon of grape, just like the green, and I just put it all on the knife. Alright, I'll stir that in quick, reheat it. Okay. I'll meet you back once that's reheated, and I'll just gas it also. Oh yeah, quick tip. if your mold heats up way too much and you're about to like burn plastic or something, just get, I mean, if you don't have another mold, you don't really need to. Get another mold out that's been sitting. As long as it's like more than 80 degrees, it will slowly pull that heat out fast enough that it won't cause denting. I mean, if it's like 32 degrees, it's gonna suck heat out of it, which is gonna cause denting and possible cold cracking. Well, it shouldn't do cold cracking because there's no other colors or layers or anything. But just to be safe, that was a quick tip. Okay, bye. Alright, so I used that needle to get those bubbles out. There's like 2 or 3 left. So there's one there, there, and there. So since it's still like gel-like, I'm just taking the tip of it and going to those bubbles and like popping them like if it was a soap bubble, and then just dragging the plastic with it a little bit. This is a little colder than what I would like to do that. But I'll just have to reheat it real quick to even it back out. And if there's any more left, they'll just... Alright, yeah, so there's a lot of bubbles. I'm just gonna heat that to like 250 to get the rest out. But another quick tip. Okay, got it degassed, reheated, ready. When doing open pours, always want to make sure your glitter's stirred in. It helps the flake, what you would call flake suspension. So like when you inject, how the flake is like evenly suspended, if you want to call it. Just helps with that. So it's gonna have like probably a black top, and as you see how that reacts with black, it doesn't really show up well on camera, but in person you can really see all that tiny blue. But okay, so needle trick works really well. Okay, don't put your elbow on the needle, that would hurt. Alright, so now I'm gonna pour these, just a very thin layer. And when doing layers, make sure your first layer is gelled up. That way it's not like creating a swirl. Unless you want something kind of swirly. It would probably just mix together though. Alright, I'm gonna try and keep that from like forming a tail. Just flip that around. Hopefully that was in focus. Okay, now it's in focus again. Do the same thing. Try. Take that. And when you fold that back, because it forms like a little drip, see how it's still sticking up right there? You don't want that sticking up, because then it causes 2 streams of plastic to come out, which, I mean, if you're really good at hand pouring, then maybe you can let that go. I'm not the greatest. Like, the beginning of this week, I finally mastered the heating of this mold and keeping the glitter suspended. And I've had this mold for like 6 months, so... Alright, I got one tiny bubble in there. Okay, that was perfectly near the top. I was able to pop that. So, since that layer's a little uneven, I'm going to go ahead and heat it to 200 to see. I'll probably go to 250, and then once the light on, sorry, I was shaking the camera. Once the light on the griddle turns off, and as it reached 250, I'm just going to turn the whole griddle off and let it go. Try and keep that flake from going down into the clear layer. But, I mean, that is a stunning color. That'd make a great shell color for like a core shot. I'm tossing around the idea of getting the core shot Ned mold from Angling AI. I was making sure I had that bubble popped. From a distance, it didn't look like I did. Then once I went to hit it with the needle, I could tell. Okay. So I'm just gonna even that out off camera. I might meet you back once it reaches temp, but it's just gonna take a while. Well, actually, I'm gonna start making the next color once I get a Pyrex cup for that. But I'll meet you back here in a second. Okay. Those are heated. It didn't even out as much as I wanted, but it's fine. It will just kind of add to the illusion effect. So I'm going to be using this Bora Bora color shift, green highlight powder, and instead of using black when you use like color shift colors or whatever, I'm just going to use Junebug to complement like that Junebug color vein that I called it. So starting with the Junebug, wherever that cap went, just one drop. Alright. Purple. Now, my 1/32 of a teaspoon of the Bora Bora color shift, which this is a 5 gram. So what Dip Your Car calls sample size, and it's like a $4 pack. So a fairly cheap pearl and effective pearl. Okay, so we reached that. We're gonna need some more Junebug, so we're gonna go ahead and 2 more drops of Junebug. Alright, we're at 5 drops of Junebug. Alright, 5 drops of Junebug. Not dark enough in my opinion, so 1 drop of black. Alright. 1 drop of black. So 5 Junebug, 1 black, 1/32 of a teaspoon of Bora Bora color shift, and 1/64 of a teaspoon of green highlight. This will just add to the illusion effect, just like the Bora Bora does. Alright, anytime using pearls, any pearl powder, anything, make sure it's mixed in well, that way you don't get any clumps of powder. And to be honest, I hate using highlight because it goes everywhere and then it's stuck in the Pyrex cup and then you have to clean it. Even though I like the effects of it. Alright, so that needs a major reheat. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that major reheat because it's like setting up. And then stir that in the rest of the way, show you the color, and then degas it off camera. And then it will be... Have I been shaking the table the entire time? Sorry about that. I just noticed how shaky the camera is. Fix that. Alright, well that's a little bit better. But, once that's degassed, we'll top these off, and then I'll meet you back in like 40 minutes, because they'll need a while to cool down after heating up. Because if you don't heat it up, you can, once you pull it out of the mold, you can literally pull all the layers apart. So you want to make sure it's heated up. Don't overheat it, because then all your glitter just goes and sinks to the bottom. It absolutely sucks when that happens, especially doing layers, because you can't reuse it. It's all one color. I mean, can reuse it, it just won't be the same color, and it'll be a solid color bait. So reheat, degas, show you the color, and then pour. Okay, meet you back. Alright, plastic's degassed, reheated, and ready to pour. Beautiful color. So topping these off. Don't want to overdo it. So what I always did is I actually overdid the tail. Okay, that's 100% not in focus or in camera. Okay. There. But if you pour enough in the tail, if you ever put water on a penny, it like makes a dome over top. It actually does that with tails, so you always want to make sure you don't overdo the tails. Heat helps with that to keep you from overdoing them, but... Alright. So I'm going to actually start with the other one. I normally start with... I don't know which one I normally start with, but I think I'm going to start back here in the tail. We have a wider area to start. And always make sure your mold is clean. I just had a little speck of dirt that I had to get off. Alright, that mold needs more heat because I cannot get that correct. So I'm going to let that to warm up to 250 real quick, and I'll meet you back. I'm probably going to pull that tail out because... Yeah, I'm going to pull that tail out, so hold on. Okay, plastic's reheated. Mold is heated up. I actually pulled that top layer off since it wasn't bonded. I just didn't throw it back in, that way there was no bubbles from it or anything. Alright, so we're gonna start in the head, do this correct. Okay. And of course there's a little piece of purple glitter. Why wouldn't there be? Alright, got that out. Had to crank the fan up a little bit. And there's another piece of purple glitter. Where in the world did all this purple glitter come from? I wonder if there was some on like the back of the teaspoons when I used them. Let me finish this off quick before it sets up. That looks good. I mean, that is amazing. The only downside to doing elaborate things like that is if you mess it up, you just kind of wasted like an hour to 2 hours worth of work. Especially people like Chris Jones when he does those really cool swim baits. I mean, he spends like 3 hours on them. I mean, granted, he does like 10 to 20 at a time. I mean, that's still a lot of work to have. The heat will help even that all out. And I got a purple piece of glitter in there. Of course. Since when did that little guy leave? Y'all better not have seen that, because you're supposed to tell me when you see that. No, I'm just going to leave it there. Why not? It actually looks pretty good. Alright, so gonna heat these up here. Try to even them out. I'm gonna do that off camera, and I'll meet you back when it's time to demold. Which, trust me, is here in like 45 minutes, because it's gonna take a while for these to cool down. But I hope you enjoyed. Sorry, no test color today. Don't have any ideas, and also this is gonna be a longer thing because of the open port. But I'll meet you back for the demold. Okay, demolding. I'm gonna start with this one. Just gonna try and pull this up. Okay, that worked amazingly. Alright, so if you look from the side, you can't really see the glitter. Then when you look from the bottom, you have all this blue speckle and it's really nice in the tail. Then from the side, there's a few, but you can't see a lot. But that top is beautiful. Right, so there's one. I'm just gonna hold that on my finger. Actually, set that up here. And if you would like to buy these baits, these worms, or any other thing, custom orders, anything like that, I'll put my email up on the screen here in a second. But I would say that was worth an hour some worth of work. It's pretty illusion. If I get some sparkle flake here soon, I'll do some with that sparkle. It's called sparkle. It like only appears at certain angles. It's almost like a highlight, but in glitter. It's from Loreworks. If I get some of that, I'll definitely do this again. Do like a 2.0 version. Maybe change the colors up, do like a red version. Redder. But hope you enjoyed, learned something. And I'm signing off for now. I'll catch you in the next one.